Hey teacher, today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Bitcoin. I'll cover wave analysis with the Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios the price may take and explain why I prefer one counter over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on 4-hour time frame and looking at the higher time frame scenarios first. This is the diagonal count, or basically it's going to be an expanded flat or a running flat structure overall, but in this one we had this as an ABC into an A wave and then looking for some kind of a three-way structure coming down for that wave C. Now there is few different possibilities in here and in here which could play out. Either we could have this as that 5-wave structure as we have it, three-way pullback up in here, and then again another 5-way structure coming down here for that C wave. Whether it's going to be a three-way structure here, three ways, creating some kind of diagonal here into ending diagonal into that C wave somewhere here. But that again is not confirmed as of yet. It is also possible to look at this as an ABC structure over here, three-way pullback into some kind of a wave X here, so WX, and then wave Y would be again ABC. So there is multiple different ways to look at this structure as well. Unfortunately, I do like the look of it as a 5-way structure. We are getting those divergences playing out simple here, so that would be a very good look. In that sense, this three-way structure could be part of another larger W here as well, three-way pullback into X, and then again looking for that higher ABC here for that C wave, or in this time it would be a larger W, X and Y to end. So there is definitely multiple scenarios this can be taking at the very moment, and I would be just looking at the local structures here, see what they are like and playing out those, and however they're going to be developing, then we can look into this higher time frame structures and see what is actually playing out. Now the other scenarios were that we had this very ugly ABC as a running flat here, the C wave coming to the 0.618 again, which is the minimum, and we did see the minimum. However, again, this is very short in time as well as the extension in price, so it is not the best looking. Now we have to remind ourselves that this definitely looks the best as 5-way structure in here, and this structure here as an ABC is the only structure that I can fit into this area of the chart that has this 5-way structure. We can't start anything with this because again we have already taken out the lows here, or basically the start point. So it has to be an ending of something, and this is the only structure I can find that has this as the ending. So some food for thought as well. Now the bullish scenario is still alive. Unfortunately, we are still looking for some lower lows here if we want to be turning this into some kind of structure downwards. In here we would be looking this as again the same idea that I showed you before, as a W, 3 ways into X, and then 3 ways into wave Y into that larger wave W, and then we would have to have this as 3-way structure into X, and then again looking for 3-way structure coming down into the wave Y. Now the issue is that we are already very close to the lows here. 17.6k is the low, and if we are looking at the extension targets here, pivoting from W to X, the wave Y extension of the minimum extension we are targeting would be around 17.3k, so that would not make any sense. So in that mind, if we still want to keep these counts alive, we do need to have this pullback up being the start of the X wave, not the X wave itself, and in here a smaller time frame pullback again, creating these lows, and now we would be creating a 5-way structure, creating this expanded flat look. The higher it goes, the better it has the chance for this minimum extension to be actually above this low here, so we can create that overall wave 1, wave 2. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, if I have to say that which one of I prefer, the bullish count is probably the last one that I would go for. I'm not quite sure which one I do prefer of this ABC, expanded flat, or the running flat, which would already be done. Running flats, of course, are not that common, but they do happen not that often in higher time frames. So I think some kind of a structure like this is the main idea still. Now let's go further on. What we have been looking at on lower time frame, and the reasonings behind some of these counts. ABC down here into possible W. This was again a reference to that bullish count and some of the first one bear counts that I showed you. So instead of X being here for the bull count, we would have to have this as the start of the X wave, basically through a pullback here. This is again the FOMC pump and dump scheme, very typical. Creating a three-way structure here, at least it looks like. I don't really want to go too detailed into this, it is a mess. So it is possible that we are creating something like this as that expander flat and wave X would be into here. So that's why it would look in lower time frame. Now the other scenario, again, three-way structure we had here, and then we could have this as some kind of three-way structure here. I have not updated this one. I was expecting, or this count was expecting a C wave going higher. We did not get that, and the end of the wave B can't be here because we have already taken out the lows, so we can't have this as a wave 1 or 2. So this is not really used at the moment. Now Oya on our Discord as well showed and proposed another count here. This was again for the idea where we had this as the A wave and having a flat pattern here coming down. Instead of having it ending here, the B wave, and having this as the C wave, this was indeed a wave 1. How do we get that? Is we are going to get this as an ABC into W, 3 ways into X, and again ABC. So yeah, WXY is a double zigzag which does and is allowed for a diagonal count. It is a bit unorthodox, very uncommon, especially for wave 1s, but that's the thing, we have to be making assumptions to make some of these counts more possible. Then again, having this as a 3 wave, we've talked about that, has issues, but for this count we have to accept it, something like that. Then another 3-way structure on here, possible 3rd wave, giving us the lowest low on RSI, which would make sense, right? And then we would be creating a 3-way structure into wave 4, and now either we have already created a wave 5, very short wave 5, that with that 3-way structure that I showed you here, or this would be the start of that wave 5 structure. We have already retraced up quite a bit, so it is possible that this is done, and if it's kind of well with the trend line that we had here, a bit of an overthrow here does not really matter too much. It is still looking very nice to me. It probably is the best looking at the moment of the counts. If you want to go long, I would be looking for a pullback. I'm not quite sure of this, how we're going to be interpreting this structure over here. Same issue with the as we had on Ethereum today. The structure does look somewhat impulsive. We did get a high here, so it could be that we have a 1-2, 1-2 setup here, 3, 4, and 5 into 3, 4, and 5. So creating an extension here already on wave 1, which is visible, and then we would be getting that pullback only later. This could be tomorrow, or even tomorrow, as this is still seems to be climbing higher. But we'll see, of course. I'm probably going to be updating that as well on Discord, and probably someone else as well going to be talking about this count. Now, is there some areas of interest? Well, yesterday we did tap the previous daily that we had from here. We did not tap the upper daily that we had from around the 14th or 15th of September. So that is definitely one of the areas. That would also give us the possibility of confirming that this indeed here was the end of this whole structure, because again, this would be the start of the wave 5, and having this as a 3-way structure, and this would invalidate the idea of having some kind of complex structure in here, because again, we can't have that here. So 20.15k would be the top before we have to be turning down if we want to be continuing to the downside. But for now it looks pretty good. Definitely going to be having some resistance here for sure. Let's take a look at the volume before we go. We see that we have a point of control kind of high up here. Again, possibly due to this. If we are zooming in a bit, let's see if that changes anything. Not too much. There is still volume here. Very blocky volume here, so we'll see if that is going to give any effect on anything. But we'll see again. Not much else here. Still waiting for this structure to form out, and only then I would be looking into possible long setups. I'm not in a long at the moment. I got stopped out. I think I had, when we were creating these highs here, I put my stop losses, I think was here. So I did get some profit here on Bitcoin and S&P 500. Both of those longs were closed, and I have not re-entered yet. We had a possibility here before entering as well, having this as a three-way structure and then continuation to the upside, but again I did not take any longs here. But yeah, those are the plans for today. Possible tomorrow, seeing how this forms, this current leg, and only then making that plan for attack and executing it. But that is pretty much everything I wanted to cover on Bitcoin today. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you next video. Bye bye.